what is blah blah? And I say, well, blah blah is just what forms the contrast with glue glue. So we understand that glue glue means not blah blah, and blah blah means not glue glue.
Yeah, I mean, like maybe that's in the category. It seems like a important detail, right? Maybe that's in the category of those things that you need to know. Maybe it's not. But the point is
Yeah, but
that like it's not the case that you need to know everything in the world, right? Which is what you just sort of said. I don't think anyone thinks that. All we're saying
So
is
I
that
mean,
you need to know. Go ahead.
there's supposed to be more like there's supposedly I thought the idea was that they had more reason to do X than Y, right? So that is to say that X is their choice than Y, right? And I'm just saying, I'm just trying to understand if you understood that X was what you had most reason to do, what would explain why you do Y, right? And it just seems to me, in those cases, you're going to say there's a malfunction or there's some type of coercion, right? Because you can't appeal to ignorance under that circumstance. Sometimes what we say person did X rather than Y when they had more reason to do Y because they were ignorant of the fact that they had more reason to do X, right? But if you say, oh no, they understood they had more reason to do X, then what would explain why they didn't do X even though they understood they had more reason to do it if it was not some type of coercion or some type of cognitive failure, which is to say malfunctioning. That's the mystery, it seems to me.
No, definitely. I think that you make an excellent point that the only true decision that we make under free will is to operate in that which we actually are and in wholeness and things that are beneficial to us. And the minute that we begin to choose things that are harmful to us, we're doing it from a place of deception, brokenness, faulty thinking. So deception would definitely fall into the paradigm of why because whenever we begin to choose things that are harmful and beneficial to us, it's not a completely there's still elements of free will to it, but there's elements of bondage as well. So I would definitely agree to that part.
Yeah, but Christians say all the time that God is not a deceiver, right? So why is it that he's putting people in a position where they don't have the tools to um, discern that that somebody's attempting to deceive them,
I
right?
think that when we open the door to choice, we open the door to free will. So we have that entering into the equation. So
I'm saying that's a non-explanation, right? Because what I'm saying is that you're just saying there's no explanation, right? See, what I'm saying is, look, Jerry understands that he has more reason to do A than B. So if he does B rather than A, he must be coerced in some way, or he must not be thinking
and I
properly,
would totally agree with
right?
you that
Or like not functioning
yeah.
properly as an agent, right? But if you say, no, it's neither of those,
No, I would not
right?
say it's neither of those. I would say
Yeah.
exactly that what would
But
cause somebody to
it doesn't seem like Adam and Eve could malfunction
no
because they're presumably properly designed to make the right decisions, right? When they're in full knowledge of the facts,
I think
right?
it's exactly what you said because they have free will and free will is given to them. It is exactly what you say. What would cause them to choose B rather than A? And it is exactly that deception.
Yeah, but deception, again, I'm sure you could say they're deceived, but then that's just going to push the question back. why would the God who Christians loudly proclaim is not a deceiver, right, would put Adam and Eve in a situation where they would not have the tools required to make the right decision? It's just bizarre.
God is not a deceiver, but God is allowing free will. And because God is allowing free will, He's allowing the experience. And I think that would be really terrible if there wasn't an ultimate reconciliation of all the cosmos.
Yeah, but
So,
see, then but you see, again, it just sounds like what you're saying is that there is no evil.
well, in actuality, that so it's kind of like what they say, that there's like really no cold, there's really the absence of heat. There really, because darkness cannot be
No, no,
measured.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not
So
talking about that.
evil actually is the absence of good and is the ultimate
That's not
lie.
the
So
issue.
it is a lie.
No, that's not the issue
Mhm,
I'm trying to get at, right?
mhm,
I'm saying if there's a justification for
mhm,
why somebody ought to sin, right? That just means sin is good rather than evil, because what is good is what ought to be done.
mhm. The justification is that free will is allowed. And so now you have the opportunity to choose what is not good. And I believe that ultimately, even the choice of what is not good will ultimately result in the good. So the
But
fact,
but
hold on just
what
a second, hold
is
on one second, hold on one second. The fact that there is something for you to choose, that is not good, is what will ultimately lead to the ultimate good. But there has to be that experience of that which is not good. So it doesn't negate the fact that there's something that is not good. It's just that the experience of that not good can ultimately be used for the ultimate good.
yeah, so what you're calling the not good, right? You're saying that there couldn't actually be this other good, right, without this not good, right?
Repeat that one more time.
What you're calling the not good, right? You're saying there couldn't be some good, right, without that not good obtaining.
Yeah, no, I don't think.
You could only have, there's a certain
Yeah, no, I
good,
don't think that's
right, which
the.
God wants, there's a certain good which God rightly wants to um, bring about. And the only way he can do it is by permitting what you call this not
Yeah,
good,
no, that's not what
right?
I'm saying at all. I'm not.
That's what you said. It's that you need the experience in order to get to the good. That's what he's trying to tell you.
Yeah, I'm not saying that that's the only way. What I'm saying is, with what we are experiencing, with what is at hand. So I'm not saying that there isn't other ways. I
Look,
wouldn't
God
know
has a
about that.
choice between different worlds to create,
Right.
right?
So what I'm saying is that the in order for free will to be present, then that is offered as a choice. So the real
Yeah, so
thing is,
free will,
yeah.
I take it is a good, right?
I think free will is a good if the intent is for us to experience what uh, experience the contrast between good and evil.
Well, I'm trying to understand what is the ultimate good that's being realized by permitting what's being called
I
an
think
evil.
the ultimate good is that if there will be another state of consciousness, that evil will not exist, that we had contrast to have something to create an ecstasy experience. So for in order for there to be that state to happen, we have to have a contrast to say, oh, it is good that these things are no longer a part of our consciousness.
Yeah, so you're saying that in order to bring about that experience, right, which you're taking to be some kind of good, like an intrinsic or ultimate good, it has to be the case that these things that you're calling evil are permitted, right?
What I'm saying is, in the reality that we are in, I believe that is the case.
What do you mean in the reality
What
that
I'm
we're in?
saying is I'm not.
There's a choice of different
What
worlds
I'm
that God
saying
could
is that,
create, right?
well, what I'm saying is I'm not going to speculate whether there is a choice or there isn't a choice of creating other worlds. What I'm saying is being in
But
the
look,
world that
but
has
look,
been
no, but
created.
no. But that's important, right? Because the claim is that God is perfectly good and that He's all powerful,
Right.
right? So that means that if there's a way for Him to bring about a greater good with less evil, right? The point is, He always seeks to maximize the good. That's what it means to be perfectly good, right?
Mhm.
When given a choice between two options, right, he chooses the better option,
Right.
right? And
Hmm.
there's nothing that can impede him from doing that. He's all powerful,
Hmm.
right? He's infallible,
Hmm.
right? So what I'm saying is, if it's the case, right, that there's a way to bring about some end with uh, bring about an end that's equally good,
Hmm.
right, with less evil, he
Hmm.
is morally obligated to do so.
So then, Jack, I think that what you just said is an excellent point, and I think that you're actually right when making that point. So now that you've made that point, and I've considered what you said, I do deem that correct. So I would say then, yes, this is the best way to go about that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that that entails that there's no evil.
No, I don't think that it would entail
No, I'm
that.
going
I
to tell
would.
you why it entails that,
Hmm.
right? Because you're saying there's a good, right, which God
Hmm.
is obligated to bring about,
Hmm.
um, which can't be brought about without permitting these things that you're calling not good, right? But
Hmm.
since those things are necessary for the greater good, that means that it's in all things considered good to do them.
No, I would disagree with you in this way that if in order to bring about the ultimate good, it is necessary for us to have these experiences. If God doesn't restore everything and it just leaves it in a state of brokenness, then yeah, it's not okay and it's not good. But that's not my paradigm. So if God is allowing an experience, but ultimately will use those negative experiences to our good, then I don't see it that way.
But the point is, I thought that you agreed that these things that you are calling not good are necessary for bringing about the ultimate good.
I'm saying that the what is necessary is the opportunity to choose. That is what is necessary. And
Yeah,
so
but you're
Mhm.
saying, but look, you can have an opportunity to choose, right? Is it
Mhm.
actually possible that God could give us an opportunity to choose without it being the case that we um, choose evils?
No, that's impossible because that's like saying
Right. So
this.
evils are necessary.
Yeah, it's like saying this. I give you a red M&M and a green M&M, and I only make you choose the red M&M. No, then now I've taken away free choice.
Yeah.
So
Are you saying evils are necessary?
no, I'm saying that free will is necessary, and because of free will, the opportunity to experience evil. Evil is not necessarily necessary. What is necessary is free will. And so when you use your free will and you experience that which is evil, it's an opportunity for you to realize what is good.
I mean, so you're saying evils are not necessary?
I'm saying what is necessary is free will. And so,
Yeah. So evils are not necessary, right?
well, it's really tricky because
It's a true dichotomy,
yeah, no,
right?
no, it
It's either
truly
they're
is. It
necessary or they're
truly is.
not.
It truly is. And so I then the way when you put it that way and you caused me to think, like I guess it would be necessary because it is. Like it is. Because there is free will and we have the choice to choose it, then it is necessary. Now, you don't have to choose it, but the fact that it is a choice to be experienced, that part of it is necessary, or it wouldn't even be a choice on the table. So in that way, I would say, yeah, it is necessary because it's even an option, you know?
Well, I'm not sure what it means to say it's an option if it's necessary.
Well, what I'm saying is that is that I don't have to choose to do evil. I don't have to choose it. But the choice is available. And the fact that the choice is available means that it's necessary to be available. But do I have to necessarily choose it? No, I don't necessarily have to choose it. But what is necessary is for it to be available to experience,
But I
to
think I
fully
think you're not.
consider.
I don't think you're appreciating what the problem is. Look, here's another way to frame it. Right.
Okay.
Here's another way to frame it. God can actualize all logically possible worlds. Right. That's what it means for him to be omnipotent. Right. There are no limits on what's logically possible as to what he can bring about. Right. Um, and so if it's possible for God to bring about a world with no evil in it, right? Um, that is a good world. In fact, as good a world as he can make, right? He would be obligated to do that.
hmm And Jack,
Now,
I love what you said earlier, because I will it'll forever be in my brain because it was just so powerful. You said that God is obligated to do what is the highest good, the highest like way of doing things, right? And
hmm
so because this is our reality, then this is the highest way of doing it. This is the best way of going about it.
yeah, but then that means, then
Another way of would have been conceptualized.
that's right. So that means then that the evils that exist in this world are necessary. The so-called evils that exist in this world are necessary for bringing about the greatest
And the
good.
only thing I would change to what you said is that the choice to the opportunity to choose evil is necessary. The actual evil is not necessary, but the opportunity to
Wait,
choose
but
it
could
is
you,
necessary.
but look, but then you're just saying that there's a world that's possible where the evil was not chosen and the good was nonetheless realized.
What I'm saying is that in the framework that we have, if free will is a part of the equation, then it is necessary to be a choice. So it's just
Okay.
like
I'm asking you a question though.
sure,
Is
sure.
it the case that there exists a world? Is it the case that there is a logically possible world, right, where the agent does not choose evil and nonetheless the greatest good is realized? Is that world
No,
logically possible?
no, because
It's not logically possible. So then the evil, right, what you're calling the evil is necessary to bringing about the greatest good, right?
the choice to do the evil is necessary. So
I'm
it's
not
kind of
talking about the
yeah.
choice.
So Jack, let me just say this and see if I'm explaining it better. Like let's say I have two children, and I tell both of them, don't do this because you'll get hurt. One of them doesn't need to have the experience to learn and to know, like, okay, I'm not gonna do this because it's gonna injure me. But the other one, for some reason or the other, felt like they needed to touch the stove, and now they know, oh shoot, I really shouldn't have touched the stove. So was it necessary for them to touch the stove? One of them never needed to touch the stove. They believed the mom when the mom said, you're going to get burned. The other one touched it, and that's how they learned that it was burned. Did they need to do it? No, they didn't need to do it, but the choice to do it was available. So
I'm
the,
just asking
the
if it's logically possible.
I don't think that it's logically possible to
Right. So
create
that's
somebody
the
to
opposite. the opposite of it being logically
No.
possible.
What I don't think is logically possible is to create a world that everyone only picks the green M&M when there's a red M&M available and still maintain that there's free will.
Okay, so look, you've got two problems with that view, right? The first is you need to show what the contradiction is, which I don't think you'll be able to do. So I think you're going to flunk on that score, right? But if you could show it, right? If you could show that it was logically impossible, right? Then it would just mean that the evil was necessary for bringing about the greater good, and then it wouldn't actually be evil because it would be in all things considered good, given that it's instrumental to bringing about some greater good, which is to say that those evils ought to occur. And the point of what the meaning of evil is that it does not mean what ought to occur. It means what ought not to occur, all things considered, right? So it's just being falsely labeled, right, in this context anyway.
Yeah.
Evil.
Well, first of all, let me say, Jack, you're so intelligent. Like, it's incredible. Like, you really make my brain work, and I appreciate it. I do think that
Yes, Dick.
I believe that I logically am showing by saying that we have a green M&M and M and a red M&M, and if I create a world where I make people only choose the red M&M, that I am now removing free will off the table. I'm showing how that cannot be a world that is created and still maintain free will. I can't create free will and make people choose something.
Yeah, so if you say it's logically impossible,
Hmm.
right, then you're saying the evil is logically necessary.
What I'm saying is that the choice of the evil is logically necessary. You don't have to do the evil. You don't have to. However, um, some do, and that choice of it being available is what is necessary. So you don't necessarily have to participate in something.
Look, if you don't think that can actualize all logically possible worlds, you're just giving up on omnipotence, and there's no logical problem of evil,
Mm, but
right?
you said that if God is oh wait, what did you say about omnipotence? I don't know why I thought you said omniscience, and so it changed the framework in my mind. So can you repeat it? Sorry.
Um, so I'm saying I'm understanding omnipotence to be that God can actualize all logically possible
So you're
worlds.
saying, okay, because God is all powerful, yes, so he can
Yeah.
conceptualize all logical worlds. And so, being that this is the framework that we have, then this is the path necessary to receive, to achieve the ultimate good. And that path is to offer free will, to offer a choice between good and evil. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to, that the evil is necessary, but the choice for evil is necessary.
Yeah, I'm just saying, is the world where everybody chooses the good logically possible? And you're saying
Yes, I'm
no,
saying no.
right?
Hmm.
Right. So that doesn't interfere with God's omnipotence, but that just means that the if what you're calling the evils are necessary, right, for the greater good to be brought about, because it's not logically possible for there to be freedom without those evils, which you haven't demonstrated, right? Then those things are just going to be all things considered goods because they're logically necessary to bringing about the greatest good.
But I'm not postulating that the evil is necessary. What I am postulating is that the choice to do evil is necessary. It's a slight difference, not exactly the same, but close, pretty darn close.